11 at night, somewhere warm, wind coming off the water, a place lit up and loud, music, glasses, tourists who don't know each other yet. Everybody having the night of their lives. And at a corner table, a woman has her hand resting on a man who isn't her husband. She thinks her husband is 200 miles up the road, asleep in a truck cab. He's a lot closer than that. This one's straight off Reddit. And before you settle in, fair warning. There's no screaming in it, no thrown drinks, no parking lot fight. This is the quiet kind. The kind that ends with a judge reading dates out loud while somebody's whole life goes pale. Dale didn't catch Tara with luck. He caught her with patience. He listened, he waited, he wrote every word of it down. And the part that still gets me, Dale could have blown the whole thing open in one ugly night. Instead, the man took 5 weeks. You're riding with Bobby tonight. Let's run it back to when it all still looked normal. On paper, Dale and Tara had the kind of marriage you'd point at. 12 years in, a little rented place a couple blocks from the water, no kids, no drama. The kind of quiet that people stop noticing. Dale drove a truck, local routes, regional hauls. Out before sunrise, back after dark. Sometimes an overnight run up the state and home by morning. Tara worked for one of those disaster cleanup outfits. Water damage, storm season, the calls that come in at 2 a.m. You've seen the billboards. And the work was real. The money was real. So the hours never looked strange. Lock this one in, because it's the whole engine of the story. Dale had access to everything. Her phone sat face up on the counter. No passcode. He could have read every message Tara ever sent. He never looked. 12 years. The man never once looked. That wasn't weakness. That was trust. And trust is exactly what she spent. And here's the cruel part. Tara was never sneaking around. She'd call him from a job site at midnight, hair a mess, folder open on her lap, complaining about a flooded kitchen. He'd hear water running in the background and think, that's my wife, out grinding at 2 a.m. Dale used to brag about her at the yard, proud of her. He was proud of the lie before he ever knew it was one. The late calls started small. A flooded house after a June storm, a restaurant that needed drying out 2 counties over. Emergency call-outs, Tara called them. And the company really did pay extra when somebody rode out with the crew. That was the genius of it. The lie had a paycheck attached. Bonuses landing in the joint account like clockwork, right next to the truth. So when the late nights got more frequent, Dale didn't blink. Storm season is storm season. Tara would kiss him at the door, tell him not to drive tired, and pull out with that work folder on the passenger seat. 12 years buys a lot of benefit of the doubt. It bought her almost half a year. Then one Tuesday, a number Dale hadn't seen in 2 years lit up his phone. Ray. He and Ray came up together. Same street, same lousy first jobs. Ray had moved back to help his old man, and he picked up shifts pouring drinks at a resort up the coast. Ray didn't do small talk. Never had. I'm not going to dress this up, Dale. Your wife's been in here twice this month, and she wasn't here for any water damage. Same woman, same corner table past the lights, same guy both times. Tall, easy money, paid cash. And the second time Ray said, they didn't leave separately. The third time settled it for him. Her hand on the man's wrist, a room key sitting on the bar between 2 glasses. Ray had sat on it a week before calling. You don't make a call like that twice, so you make sure the first time.
And it cost Ray something to dial. The man at that table was the kind who signs paychecks.
Now, Dale's first move is the same one yours would be. No photo, no proof. Maybe Ray saw somebody who just looks like Tara. People want that off-ramp. Dale wanted it bad. But here's what wouldn't let him sleep. He ran the calendar in his head. Both nights Ray named, both of them, Tara had logged an emergency call-out. And both of those nights, Dale had been a long way up the road, exactly where she'd put him. He didn't call her, he didn't text. He went quiet. Most men blow up right here. The phone call, the screaming, the whole show. Dale just went still. And quiet, from a man like Dale, should scare you more than any yelling ever could.
That weekend, Dale bought a voice recorder, the little kind that fits under a car seat. He slid it under the passenger seat of Tara's car on a Sunday and went back to work like nothing had happened. By Thursday, Dale was parked at the edge of a lot with the engine off, headphones in, listening to his marriage come apart in high definition. First thing the man learned, Tara knew his schedule better than his dispatcher did. On the recordings, she'd quote his routes to the other man like a train timetable. Relax, he just left, we've got till Friday. The coast runs 3 days, the long haul's 5. She had it down cold. His whole life mapped out as her cover. And those after-hours bonuses? Some of those nights she really did work.
That was the trick. The lie sat right next to the truth, so the truth covered for it. But it wasn't the big betrayals that cut deepest. It was the small talk. The way Tara laughed on those tapes, easy, light, telling the other man about her day, her week, mentioning her husband like Dale was a roommate she'd stopped really seeing. She didn't sound guilty. She sounded happy. Some nights, Dale would rewind the same 30 seconds 5 or 6 times. Not because he missed something, because part of him still couldn't make the voice on the tape match the woman he married. Night after night, that little recorder filled in the rest. How long it had been going? 5 months. How it started? A job, of course.
The man had a name now. Vince. Married too, naturally. His own wife worked nights. Convenient all around. Dale didn't stop at audio either. A second little recorder for the driveway. A cheap camera by the door, the kind people put up for porch pirates. He learned the rhythms so well, he started keeping a folder of his own. Dates, dollar amounts, the names that kept surfacing. Every file backed up twice in case a phone walked off. By the end, the man had dozens of recordings and a stack of video. Weeks of it, all time-stamped. A whole second marriage documented in high definition by the one person who was never supposed to see it. And then came the part Dale didn't tell a soul until much later.
I've read a lot of these stories on Reddit. I need you to hear this one, because I have never seen it anywhere else. The recorder caught Tara alone in the car, rehearsing, practicing the lie out loud before she walked through her own front door. She ran the same sentence 3 different ways. A warehouse roof that caved, then softer, then again with a tired little laugh tacked on the end, polishing it like a singer warming up. She wasn't lying to him anymore. She was performing it. That's the moment this stops being a sad story. That's the moment Dale stopped grieving and started building a case.
The second thing the tapes gave Dale was where. Not a motel, not the other man's place. A resort, right on the water. The kind with a pool that glows past midnight and tourists who never quite settle down. Because Vince didn't just go there.
Vince ran it. The kind of manager who can keep a room off the books all season long. No card, no record, no trace. They had a rhythm to it. Drinks first, down by the water, like the lying earned itself a toast. Then upstairs, to a room that officially didn't exist. Same place, same nights, same lie. And it had stopped feeling like sneaking to her. That was the part that told Dale everything. People hide an affair in the early weeks. Back corners, cash, one eye on the door. By month 5, Tara wasn't hiding anymore. She walked in like she belonged there, because the man beside her ran the place. Comfortable people get careless, and careless people leave a trail. Dale had nothing but time to follow it. And here's where most guys lose it. Right here. They drive down, they make a scene, they swing on somebody, they end up the one in handcuffs. Dale did the exact opposite. He decided he wanted more than a fight. He wanted it to count, in a room with a judge in it. So Dale started coming down on the nights he was supposed to be 200 miles away. He'd get into town quiet, find a spot back from the lights, and get close enough to see without being seen. And then the man just watched, patient, unblinking, the way he'd learned to read a mirror on a long, slow backup. He wasn't filming a screaming match. There was never one to film. Dale clocked who showed up first, who paid, which nights, what time, how long. The tourists laughed, the pool glowed, the palms moved in the wind, and a little ways off in the dark, Tara's husband sat learning his wife's second life, like a route he'd be driving the rest of his days. 12 years, he never checked her phone. Now he was timing her drinks from across the water. People don't just turn cold. They get turned. By the third night, Dale could have drawn the whole thing on a napkin. 11:15, give or take 5 minutes. Same table, past the lights. Same waiter who didn't need the order repeated. Routine. And routine, when it's your own wife, is its own kind of knife. Slow, dull, and it never stops sawing. The worst night wasn't the first one. It was the one where nothing surprised him anymore. Tara walked out toward the water in a dress Dale had never seen, and at one point she threw her head back and laughed. That big, unguarded laugh he used to think belonged to him. It carried all the way across the water, and the man it used to belong to heard it land on somebody else. And that's the thing nobody warns you about. It isn't the betrayal that breaks you. It's standing close enough to hear the laugh you married, and realizing you're the stranger now. Dale didn't move. He didn't call out. He didn't break. He just logged it. Time, date, who, where. 9 pages of it by then, in his own handwriting in a notebook he kept under the seat right next to the recorder. He sat out there an extra hour that night. Not because there was anything left to see, because getting up meant going home to a house where she'd be asleep and pretending one more morning. That was the toll nobody saw. 5 weeks of it. 5 weeks of kissing Tara goodbye at sunrise, driving his routes all day, and coming home to listen to her plan a life that didn't include him. He dropped 15 pounds and told the guys it was a new diet. He'd lie awake at night doing math. Not angry math, careful math. What he had, what he still needed, how clean it had to be. Most men would have cracked inside a week. Dale just got quieter, and the quiet got heavier. And somewhere in those 5 weeks, the grief hardened into a plan. Now, while Dale's playing it ice cold, Tara is getting comfortable. And comfortable is exactly where these things rot. Because by then, she'd stopped being careful. 5 months at the same place will do that to anybody. A receipt left in the car, a room charge on a card she was sure he never checked, a text she didn't bother to delete, a standing reservation the front desk now knew by her first name. Every careless thing Tara did, the recorder was already there for. She was building his case for him, one lazy, confident night at a time. And Dale was patient, the way only a man who drives 12 hours a day knows how to be patient. He wasn't waiting to catch her. He caught her weeks ago. He was waiting to land it clean, all at once, with nothing left for her to argue.
Here's what Dale did with all of it. Nothing loud. He went to a lawyer first, a good one, the quiet kind. He opened his own account and moved his half before anybody could think to freeze it. He put a deposit on a little place across town, signed the lease, and didn't tell a soul. For 3 weeks, Dale played the devoted husband better than he ever had. Kissed Tara goodbye every morning, texted at every fuel stop, asked about her fake jobs, and remembered the details. 3 weeks of looking a person in the eye over coffee while you quietly take the whole marriage apart underneath her. People ask me how a man does that. Same way he backs a 40-foot trailer into a tight dock. Slow. No sudden moves. You don't rush the thing that'll wreck you if you rush it. Then, on a Tuesday morning, it all landed at once. Tara got served at work, right in front of the office. 10:05 in the middle of the morning meeting.
Divorce papers. Her name, his lawyer's number. And at that exact same hour, across town, Dale was carrying the last box out of the rented house. Movers he'd booked a week before. By the time her first call came through, the man was already gone. Lease signed somewhere she'd never think to look. 23 missed calls by noon. Over 100 texts by dark. He didn't answer a single one. Because there was nothing left to say. Dale had said all of it into a notebook weeks ago. Tara tried the things people try when the ground goes out. Showed up where he might be. Sent friends around to talk sense into him. Cried down the phone to anyone who'd pick up. And when none of it moved him, she got herself a lawyer. That's when Tara made her one real mistake. She decided to fight it. Tara asked for spousal support, said she'd grown used to a certain lifestyle. Dale's lawyer answered by setting the exhibits on the table, the recordings, the dates, 9 pages in Dale's own handwriting. The request didn't survive 2 days. Then it got worse for her, and not because of anything Dale did. Turns out Vince had a wife of his own, and that wife had a very good attorney. The moment the dust kicked up, Vince did the math and protected himself. He signed a sworn statement, named the dates, named Tara. The man she blew up her marriage for sold her out the second it cost him $1. Let that one sit a second. Tara torched 12 years for a guy who flipped on her the first time the bill came due. That's not love. That was never love. That was a man with a room key. With his sworn statement sitting next to Dale's recordings, the whole thing was over fast. The adultery was on the record in black and white. Inside 48 hours of the file landing on the table, the support she'd asked for was dead, and the judge had seen more than enough to move quick on the rest. By the end, Tara walked away with no support, half of a marriage she'd already left, and a name that followed her around a small town where everybody knows everybody.
Dale kept his savings, kept his truck, kept that little place across town. He didn't win loud. He won clean. And the recordings? Dale barely had to play them. Just knowing he had them did most of the work. A quiet man with receipts doesn't have to raise his voice. The receipts do the talking.
There's one last piece. Months later, Tara found out where Dale's new place was. Drove by it. Sat out front a minute, engine running. Then she sent him a single text. "Now I know where you live." Same move Dale had pulled on her. The watching, the quiet showing up, handed right back to him. He didn't text back. He forwarded it straight to his lawyer. And the next week, a judge handed Dale a restraining order to go on the pile with everything else. So that's where it ends. Not with a fight, with a man who got quiet, kept his head, and let the truth stack up until it was too heavy for anybody to argue with. Here's what stuck with me, and why I couldn't put this one down.
Tara didn't get caught because Dale was clever. She got caught because she got comfortable. The careful version of her might have gotten away with it for years. The comfortable version recorded a full confession into a machine she didn't know was running, and then sat in the same car and rehearsed her lies on top of it. That's the one for tonight. Straight off Reddit, where the quiet stories always hit harder than the loud ones. This is Bobby POV. And before you roll out, real question. Would you have done it Dale's way? Quiet, patient, clean? Or would you have blown it up the first night? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Hit that like if patience won, because I've already got the next one loaded for tomorrow night. Keep your head, watch your mirrors. I'll see you out there.